Namaste everybody. I started the ride with my recently purchased MWD-110H. This looks like a G-Shock on my wrist, and right off the bat, I think it's a good riding watch. Let's leave Mangalore. Let's get moving. The MWD-110 feels very light on the wrist. It has quite the presence, especially because of the metal bezel. As you can see, the watch really shows despite the riding gloves on my hand. The buttons are easy to operate even with gloves on. Not that you need to switch modes while riding, but whenever you stop and you want to time, then you can always use the stopwatch without the gloves coming off. You can easily tell time without having to take your hand off the handle. This is because of two things: exceptional viewing angle and large, crisp digits. I highly recommend this as a riding watch because it's functional and sporty, and you get a watch that is affordable and looks like a G-Shock. I have just replaced the MWD-110 with this popular all-resin analog dive-style watch, the Casio MRW-200H. I have the green variant, as you can see, and I must say the legibility on this is unfriggin' believable. For a small watch, this has quite the presence on the wrist, even with gloves on. The rotating bezel can be used to time the stretches on your ride to keep it fun and interesting, but please ride safely. You are not racing anyone, not even time. The watch is very light and feels light on the wrist, and you can see time without having to take your hand off the handle, and that is a pro. A good choice for a riding watch. I have now switched to the popular Mission Impossible watch, the DW-290. This has to be the official riding watch by Casio. I mean, look at that. The digits are crisp, the viewing angle isn't as great as the MWD-110, but far better than the G-Shock squares from the last video. You surely feel like you are on a mission with this watch on your wrist. The presence can be felt even with gloves on. The weird shape of the watch makes it all the more preferable. You will need to slightly tilt the wrist to see the time, which isn't a big deal. I will definitely recommend this as a riding watch. If I rode my bike into the Arabian Sea, I figured the 200-meter resistance would come in handy. I have just entered Goa and it's very hot. And finally, we have the Big Daddy Casio F-91. If you need a watch for just time and nothing else, then F-91 should be your choice. It might not have the presence of the previous three Casio watches, but it is practical. The viewing angle is better than the DW-290 and hence will not require you to take your hands off the handle to check time. It's the lightest of all. If you want to keep it simple and don't care to show off your watch while riding, then the F-91 is a good choice. But if you do need to operate the buttons during stops, you will need to take your gloves off because the buttons are tiny. I personally wouldn't prefer this for my future rides, but it does the job well. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, stay tuned and stay classy.